Hey ladies, so this is going to be my trying to conceive update. I'm actually going to wait a minute until some of you jump on. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I will have linked down below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I also have a Facebook page, which I'm going live from now. So I will have that link down there too. If you have any questions, make sure you wait until the end of the video and I will answer them in the comments. Just make sure that you post them on there. It's just really hard for me to keep my train of thought and reply to comments at the same time. So, you know, doing it live. So that's why I usually tell you guys to wait until the end of the video. Okay, it looks like we're getting some people on here. Okay, so this is my long-awaited trying to conceive update. Now this is following my live OPK line progression video that I did, and I was also talking to you guys about my 2-week wait symptoms. And if you've been following me either on YouTube or if you've been following me on Instagram, you guys probably already know that I did not conceive this cycle, unfortunately. So following that video, that next Monday I actually spoke with my OBGYN. Now I've been seeing him for the last 7 years. He's seen me through all of my pregnancy complications with Dallas and Sophia. He's seen me through all of my miscarriages. He's seen me through these last 2 years of trying to conceive baby number 3. And he kind of sat down and and I kind of already knew this going in, that we were probably going to talk about these options, and I actually had quite a few questions. Now, his office isn't set up to do smaller infertility procedures. Now, that would be something that I would have to see the fertility clinic for, and he kind of told us that right off the bat. So he gave us an option. He's, we can try to do, a couple rounds of medication, being Clomid and Progesterone, or he could send us to see the fertility clinic and have a consult with them. And after Dave and I had talked about it, we decided that we would go ahead and try 1 round of the medication, Clomid and Progesterone, and that after that, if we don't conceive, then we will go ahead and have the consult with the fertility specialist. We're kind of leaning towards that anyway. I might still do the consult while I'm doing this round, just so that they can become familiar with us and our case. And he pretty much said that, given my history of pregnancy complications, the fact that I've had multiple miscarriages, including an ectopic pregnancy, that there is something more that's going on that's not normal, and it does warrant to see a fertility specialist, which I completely agree. The only reason why we held off so long from doing medication and even seeing a fertility specialist is because of our insurance. And I actually found out that Monday that my insurance is willing to cover most of the fertility medication and a possible IUI, and that is until December 31st of this year. After that, then it starts all over again, and we have to meet our deductible before they're willing to pay anything at all. So we're really hoping to get this ball rolling before the end of the year. So it's a little stressful, but at the same time it's a little bit exciting because we've been waiting for so long, and we are just so ready to grow our family and to have another baby or babies. If you guys are familiar with what Clomid is, there is not really a risk, but there is a chance of having multiples. But there is a risk of having multiples, which we are completely okay with. One's fine too, a singleton's fine as well. But I think if you're in our position anyway, you kind of guys already know where we come from, that, we've lost so much already that we would be happy no matter what. That's kind of where we stand in that stance. So I've been taking Clomid for 3 days so far, and so far so good. I've taken Clomid in the past, but I think I had tried a lower dose. You guys are going to see my Dallas back there. I think I took a lower dose than this one. Right now I'm on 50, and the only symptoms that I've had so far, and I don't really remember these last time I took it, but I've been having really bad hot flashes, mostly at night. I did have one earlier while I was in the bathroom, but I had just got done taking a shower, so that could have been why too. And then I also am so nauseous, and I have really no appetite, which is okay because I can stand to lose a couple pounds. It probably would do good in my favor. So that's pretty much it. I don't start taking the progesterone until cycle day 17, and then I take that until the 30th, cycle day 30. And if we are pregnant, then I continue taking that for 3 months, possibly longer, depending on what he wants me to do with my history of preterm labor and all of those complications. He might keep me on it longer, which I'm okay with as well. So, but yeah, those are pretty much the two main symptoms. And honestly, and I've been really emotional. And honestly, like, a lot of the symptoms that I've been having while taking Clomid actually remind me a lot of pregnancy symptoms. So I'm really, really hoping that this works, because I don't want to go through all this and then not get a baby at the end of it. So that would just really suck. So if you guys aren't familiar with what Clomid looks like, they come in like little packets. Obviously, I just singled this one out just because I'm taking this one today. But that's what it is. And then if you're not familiar with what progesterone looks like, it kind of looks like this. Now, you can do these vaginally, like a suppository, or you could do them orally. I prefer to do this as a suppository just because it lessens the symptoms that I've had with progesterone. My main symptoms that I absolutely despise with taking progesterone is the dizziness. For some reason, it's really bad for me. It honestly feels like you're drunk and that you drank way too much. So when I do these as a suppository, I don't get that at all. The only downside to taking that as a suppository is that if you don't have a liner in, it tends to kind of leak out a little bit into your underwear, but that doesn't affect the absorption into your body at all. You get the full effect with the suppository as you would doing it orally. I don't think they're as concentrated as the progesterone oil shots. That's a little bit different because obviously that's more used for like IVF or IUI. So that's what I'm doing this cycle. I do take the progesterone. I will be taking the progesterone at night, just to kind of so that I'm laying flat and that my body can absorb all of it needs to. And I usually take the Clomid about this time, around noon. So I'll be taking that shortly after this video. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys that because I know some of you that haven't taken this before, you might be curious, or you might be starting this and you're curious on what it looks like, how easy is it to take. I will say that the Clomid itself, just swallowing this is fine. There isn't any coating on it, but it's so small that it's easy to swallow. Obviously with the progesterone, if you take it orally, it's got a coating on it. It's completely fine, no big deal. Vaginally, you can't feel it up there at all. So that's that. So like I said, we are going to try this medication first. So fingers crossed that I do become pregnant. So I'm really, really hoping. We're really, really just praying and hoping. If we don't, then like I said, I will be completely fine getting a consult with... Oh, you're crossing your fingers? Thanks, buddy. Like I said, I will be completely fine with seeing the fertility specialist. My next video, I'm going to talk about different alternatives to progesterone and Clomid. It's something that we have tried in the past, and it has worked for us. However, it's not now, which, you know, things have changed. A lot has changed because I only have one tube. So, yeah, so, oh, and I know I had a question. I believe this was in my previous video on what our diagnosis is. Well, I kind of have a few different factors against me. One being PCOS, the other being that I don't have a thyroid. I had that removed in 2014, and I have a whole other video series on why that was removed. So I do have post-surgical, oh yeah, sorry, Dallas is seeing the cat. I do have post-surgical hypothyroidism, but my levels have been fine this entire time. My PCOS symptoms, really the only thing that I have noticed is I still have the facial hair and the weight changes. My insulin has been pretty good. I haven't had any issues with insulin resistance for quite a while, which is great. But I also, like I said, I only have one working tube, which is on my right side because my left was removed because of an ectopic pregnancy. And then he also diagnosed me with a luteal phase defect. And if you're not familiar with that is, if you're not like in the TTC community or you're just beginning to try and you aren't familiar with what that is, I will have a more in-depth video. But basically, it's the time between your ovulation and your period. Now, it's supposed to be anywhere from 12 to 14 days or longer. Mine is only 7. At the highest, it's been at a 10, and that was the only time that it's ever been 10 days, and that was in June. Now, I think that's the only reason why we conceived. So, he thinks that this, you know, taking the progesterone and the Clomid might be what does it for us. He says it does increase your chances of conceiving as long as you do ovulate on my right side. Obviously, if I ovulate on my left, it doesn't do anything because there's no way for it to happen there, because there's no way for it to travel down the tube because there's just none. So he's hoping with the Clomid that I do ovulate on both sides, and hopefully I have an ovulation on my right side. I do have and I also sorry, I'm like all over the place, you guys. I'm really sorry. I do have an ultrasound on cycle day 16. Yeah, on cycle day 16, so that will let us know if I'm ovulating, what side it is, and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. You guys are all caught up to speed. I will have a lot more videos coming up soon. Again, I will post these both on YouTube and my Facebook page. So thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them at the end. All right, bye guys.